two people accused of Macon murders, one now dead, the other reportedly kidnapped. Both were expected to be under house arrest the day their names made headlines.
It was a widespread failure of proper monitoring.
It's been 6 months since Bibb County Sheriff David Davis sent this letter to Anytime Bail Bonding, notifying owner Paul Stewart that his company was suspended from monitoring any new defendants until he found a new monitoring service to do so. And according to the sheriff, months later, he still hasn't found one.
Right now, they've not come forward with any company that they would like for us to review. So right now, they're not bonding out anybody that requires monitoring.
Anytime Bail Bonding was working with a monitoring service called Supercom, also doing business as Eagle Monitoring Service. That suspension letter was also sent to the company's regional operations manager, Corey Dunlap. But days later, a murder suspect who was being monitored by Supercom was shot and killed, 19-year-old Kamarion Maynor.
There was records that Mr. Maynor had traveled all around town, and the DA's office and the sheriff's office had not been notified. Had we been notified of those repeated violations of the bond order, then the courts could have stepped in and certainly vacated that bond, and he'd have been placed back into custody and might be alive now.
According to Maynor's bond conditions, he was supposed to be under GPS house arrest with no contact to his co-defendants and having no weapons. The teen was killed during a shootout where he was one of those pulling the trigger. When we spoke to Supercom's Corey Dunlap earlier this year, he didn't take any accountability for his company's lack of monitoring violent offenders like Maynor.
If I had received the correct bond order at first, I could have put the boundaries in place to make sure that everybody was in place where they need to be placed.
Today, Supercom is banned from Bibb County after Sheriff Davis says it failed miserably at doing its job. But they aren't the only ones who can no longer be found in Macon. Christian Williams was last seen on this home security video on March 5th. Charged with murder, he was supposed to appear in court the next day to have his bond revoked. His house arrest was also being monitored by Supercom.
The records showed that his monitoring system sort of quit monitoring several hours before the supposed abduction. So it seems you could say coincidental, or seems suspicious that the monitoring apparatus quit working, and then a little bit later on he was abducted.
Sheriff Davis says the monitoring company didn't notify his office or the district attorney's office when Williams' device stopped tracking him. Action he says they're supposed to take day or night, no matter the hour. According to an incident report, the security footage shows Williams was taken on a Sunday night at 11:45. His attorney turned the video over to prosecutors around 9 o'clock Monday morning when he didn't show up to court. Then a few hours later at 11:40, a deputy went to his home to file a missing persons report. Hours ticked by with no word from Supercom. Now 5 months later, there's still been no word from Williams.
When you have a person that was charged with some very serious charges, he was in jail for murder, and that he was waiting to go to court to be adjudicated on that, you may not want to be found.
Sheriff Davis says there's been no progress on finding him either. For now, Williams is considered both a missing person and a fugitive from justice nationwide.
We will celebrate that we have found him, but we will certainly incarcerate him because we have found him.
Reporting for Project Macon, Brittany Miller, WGXA News.